The difference between spirituality and religion. Religion teaches you how to think about God. Spirituality is an intuitive feeling between you and your source creator, God. I think that as a whole, reading references or trying to learn what God is or our creator is admirable. Trying to look for God is admirable. But there's a certain amount of truth that you must discern. With this being said, when you're taught from someone else, from someone else's experience, from someone else's point of view, what God is, entails, and expects from you, and you hold that doctrine to a very high standard, it can invoke a sense of fear. People need to understand that books were made by man. Even prophets or men of the church, these were all men who wrote their perspective in direct correlation to societal standards at that time. And we must discern how we feel about what was said, what holds true to us, and try not to live on a frequency of fear. With that being said, we all have our own moral and ethical values. We, as a human being, unless we have a mental illness, know what's right from wrong. I always say there's three things. Do not murder, do not rape, do not betray. And we have to understand that the first two are self-explanatory. In regards to betrayal, is do not take someone's trust for granted. Do not betray another human being, whether it's friend, family, that is your own frequency. It's very deceptive. We all have reasons for doing what we do. That is between us and our Creator. And when you have an outline of what not to do, even in thoughts, that kind of invokes a sense of self-loathing. I'm trying to keep it very general because I don't want it to hold to one book, quote unquote. I just want people to understand that spirituality is really about the intuitive feeling of what's right from wrong, coming from a loving perspective, love of all things, and having a general sense of admiration for everyone and everything. And how I feel about the world is that we are all creations of this world, and there is no mistakes. And with that being said, unless someone proves to you with evidentiary support that they are not a person of light and love and peace, then we should not automatically assume because of a label that they are not. We must learn to be guided by our intuition, to be guided by our inner intuitiveness in regards to how to handle each individual. Religion, especially what I would call the newer religions, you have to realize were written about 2,000 years ago. The oldest of the oldest religions honored every being, whether it was the tree, the bird, the fish, or the human, in the way in which they were created. And you honor that aspect of that Hermit because they are living their experience, which is true to them. And only they know their intention. And anything that preaches hatred towards an orientation, a religion, a person, a race that is preaching fear. And nobody should live on that frequency. It can give you anxiety, social disorders, things of that nature when we are not taught love, empathy, compassion. And on an individual level and basis, we should all filter through how we feel about ourselves and others, how we feel in relations to the world around us. And being indoctrinated into a religion can also inset a certain amount of fear.